Welcome to another episode of Flyer Nation. I'm Tony DeNardis. Today I will be joined by Lewis softball head coach Becky Pearl, who has been the head coach of the program since the 2015 season. And later I'll be chatting with senior pitcher Delaney to talk about her experience in the program. Coach, thanks for taking some time to be here.
Thanks for having us.
I know it's a busy part of your season, so appreciate you taking some time.
It's that time of year, right?
It is.
Practice, practice, play, play.
So you've been here a decade now.
I have.
Can you describe your time here?
It's been awesome. Honestly, it's one of those things to take over after such an integral part of the softball program's coaching staff with Coach George, and to just be able to follow in his footsteps and try to continue to win and be successful. It's a great place to do that. And so it's been really fun to watch us just kind of continue to climb up that ladder of success. And I've enjoyed my time for sure. Was
it a little nerve-wracking at first with him being here for over 30 years and what he was able to do?
Yeah, I think the first question is always, how are you going to fill his shoes? I'm like, I'm not. I'm going to be completely different and just work on the levels of success like he had done in the past. Obviously we're different people, and so we're going to attack things in a different way, but ultimate goal is to always just keep that level of success high.
And you had plenty of experience as a head coach. You were at Judson University for 10 years. Now you've been here for 10 years. Has anything changed now in how you coach now to when you did when you started your career?
I think definitely times have changed, right?
Yeah.
And how people have experienced their travel ball, their high school careers. Obviously with COVID, that changed a lot of things. But I've tried to maintain who I am as a human being and as a coach throughout that time. That was one of the big things for me. Going from the NAIA, I coached Division III as well, so Division III, NAIA, and now Division II, just making sure that I could sleep at night and I was honest with who I am as a human being and being able to hold those standards high. That was imperative for me, is to not lose sight of who I am.
Did you see a major difference at all going from NAIA to
talent-wise, yes, for sure. I definitely, Lewis and our program can attract perhaps just a lot of skill, which is great. And I'm not saying that we didn't have highly skilled and talented players at the NAIA, which we did. But I think the pool opened up quite a bit. Okay. And so the level of play in the GLVC is definitely very high. And we've got great hitters and great pitchers. And you can't take a day off, that's for sure.
Now on the flip side, what have the players taught you?
I learn every day from them, that's for sure. I think that's kind of the key of being a coach, right, is to never be finished learning and just take in what they've got and how you can coach them better and learn from them how they need to be communicated with. And, I love that aspect of it. Is every day is a learning experience, that's for sure.
Well, it definitely seems like you're learning a lot and they're learning a lot, because you had 40 wins last year. That was your most since you've been here.
Yep.
And the most in the program in 20 years. Over 30 again this year. What's leading to all this success?
I think just the hard work of our student athletes. They're talented. It's never been a year that's gone by that I haven't preached to them that they're a talented group of individuals. And if they put in the work and they do it as one unit and working together, that we can achieve a lot of things. And I think as you continue to build that culture, they come together and they work hard for it. But we've got a highly skilled team, that's for sure. And I'm really proud of them for all that they've already accomplished and what we still have to do.
Because each team's different, right? With players, definitely. It changes yearly. Now, instead of individual season goals, are there constant things that you're always focusing on every year when new players come in?
Definitely. We kind of talk about our pillars of success as a program. That's something that we set down as a program early in my career here and said, these are what we expect out of each other. The student athletes at the time helped build those, and obviously we had input as a coaching staff to make sure they were aligned with what we expect on and off the field as well. And so you just preach those as soon as they get in, and you build them as they go, and you expect them to hold each other accountable just as much as we hold them accountable.
Now I want to go back in time a little bit. You started the season in Hawaii, right? Mm-hmm. And it maybe wasn't necessarily in terms of wins and losses how you wanted it to go, but I just want to know how that was playing in Hawaii.
Hawaii was amazing. Being there, the experience for the women was amazing. I'm so glad that we had that opportunity, and it taught us a lot. I mean, we definitely had moments where we did not know how to play softball, that's for sure. But I think it taught us what we needed to come back and work on, and where maybe some of our youth was kind of showing through people who hadn't experienced this level of play yet at the collegiate level. We lost quite a few players from last year's season, so just picking up those holes and picking up those responsibilities and just coming together as a team, it taught us quite a bit.
And do you think with that being like your first few games out of the gate, part of the reason for why maybe there were some struggles there because you didn't get time with your team?
I think it was just not time on the field, right? Like
Okay.
those are it's kind of like your Florida trip, but it just happened to be in Hawaii. We had 2.5 weeks of practice from after Christmas, but we had all fall to get together as well. I think just some of those things are bigger when it's go time, when it's record time, when you have to really put it together to make sure that you get the wins. Yeah.
And the reason I brought up that trip is because when you came back, you were playing in the Flyers Invitational in Rosemont in the Dome, and that's two totally different environments that you have to try to get used to right off the bat. So it definitely presents a challenge. Do you think that's a good thing that you have to deal with something like that?
I definitely do, because I think that's kind of what happens every weekend, right? Is you're either on the road or you're home. You've got weather to deal with.
Right.
You've got teams that are doing well, teams that aren't doing so well but could come out that day. I mean, our conference was the tale of the splits for quite a while with the other teams. So you definitely want to have some of that, just those differences, so that they get used to playing in different situations, different circumstances, and are able to kind of bounce back and do what's necessary no matter what the circumstances.
Now, when we come back to right now, you guys clinched another spot in the GLVC tournament. I saw it was the 36th time, which is the most by any team in the conference. But if you had to pinpoint an area that you think needs to be improved or you guys have to be better in order to have success, what is it?
I think we have to keep hitting the ball and attacking early in the count. Our pitchers do a great job, and I think that more recently we've kind of just been relying on them to do all the work a little bit, and that's tough because then you have to be perfect all the time. And as we talk about as a team, nobody's perfect every day or ever. So I think the more that we can give them some insurance runs and run that score up, the easier it's going to be on the defense and everybody.
And on the other side, defensively, we're going to talk with Delaney in a little bit, but you only have 4 pitchers I saw that have pitched the entire season, which is that always the case? Is that just this year?
That's usually a thing for softball in general. Obviously, the larger staff is great, but you have to make sure that everything's working with the larger staff and that they're keeping batters off balance for sure. But you'll see oftentimes just 2 pitchers doing all the work, and everybody else is ready to go if they are called upon. I think just the nature of softball versus baseball is that we can handle the workload a little bit differently than they can with the motion.
Well, it's the thing, it's more fluid motion, and that's when I was thinking about baseball too, because this time of year, a question I was thinking about is, are you limiting your pitchers and kind of how they throw to get them ready for the postseason? But with how you guys pitch and only throwing 4 out there, you really can't.
I wouldn't say game-wise we're limiting at all, but practice-wise we do. So,
Okay.
They might go hard one day out of the week and then just some maintenance the rest of the days in preparation for the next series.
When we come back, we'll be joined again with Coach Becky Pearl, and we'll talk about recruiting here for the softball program.
Big game, big win, no.
The Race Strong Foundation was created about 4 years ago. It came after, as a couple, we had our first child. She was born at 24 weeks. She weighed 1 pound, 12 ounces. Then she proceeded to spend another 4 months in the NICU. That was the time that she should have been growing in the womb. During the 4 months, we visited her daily, and we got to sit down with the doctors and the nurses, and the amount of medical knowledge and what they can do to make sure that your child survives is amazing. And just the experience, it was nothing we could have ever been prepared for. So emotionally, we became very tied to the micro-preemie world. And that was when we decided to create a foundation with the goal of trying to give thanks back to the NICUs, the nurses, and then also provide any sort of emotional or financial help to other families that might experience what we went through.
We've had the opportunity to host over 40 events, celebrating micropreemies, fundraising, and bringing awareness to micropreemies and their families. When you get a chance, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or our website at raystrong.org. Donate, and thanks again for all the support.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Flyer Nation. I'm still joined with Coach Becky Pearl, and I want to talk recruiting a little bit. Now, when, let's say high school year-wise, sophomore, junior, senior, do you start looking at players?
We start as early as we find them, for sure.
Okay.
But we usually don't talk to them at camps until sophomore year. But you're getting your eyes out there freshman, sophomore year, seeing what you want to keep track of, who you want to keep eyes on, sending out camp information as quickly as possible. By junior year, you kind of want them locked in and ready to sign with you.
Now, you say that now, what time of year are you doing this? Is it after the season? Is some of it during the season?
It's year-round, to be
Is it?
honest.
Okay.
I mean, definitely that January, February, we get to spend a lot more time with our current team and really focus on what the job at hand. But here now, late April, beginning of May, you start having to get out, see some high school games, keep some tabs on people, get some fresh videos from them in preparation for that summer season. And then pretty much all summer long, we're out every weekend, Thursday through Sunday, watching games and finding future Flyers.
And I asked this question to other coaches too, and it sounds repetitive when you always talk about transfers, right, in a transfer portal, but it's important, isn't it?
It is.
Do you guys use that a lot?
We do as much as we can. We had a transfer come in this year. I would say probably some other sports are locking them down a little bit faster than we are. I don't know if that's because our graduating classes have been a little bit smaller. But it's definitely something we work on every year and try to find a good fit. When we lose them, it's usually to Division I, and that's like, all right, so you were transferring out of Division I, but you're going to go back. All right, we'll just keep working at this and try to get the next one in. So we definitely try to capitalize on it, and we just keep working on it.
What are you looking for in a player for your program?
Obviously, everybody wants talent, right? I mean, no coach is going to say, "Oh, we'll take the unskilled person," right? So that's for us is the no-brainer. But we're looking for attitude and effort and kids that fit into our culture. I constantly say to my recruits is, we want to win a national championship here. So do you want to do that with us here at Lewis? And if that's something that you're interested in, then this is a great place for you to look. And we've got a great education. I'm proud of who Lewis is and how we can further these student athletes. So that's easy for us. But making sure that they understand, there's 20, 25 kids on this roster. It's not our job to necessarily get everybody in every game like it perhaps was in the early years of high school. We're here to win games, and it's up to you to earn that spot, but realize that you do have a role every single day, whether it's a starting lineup role or getting sure the charts are done or picking up a changeup off the other pitcher so that the hitters know that it's there.
And that's what I wanted to ask you too, is how often does it come up in recruitment talks about players asking you when they're maybe going to get playing time? Does that come up at all when you're recruiting?
I think once in a while somebody will ask kind of how it goes playing time wise, but we are sure to tell them right away, like, it doesn't matter if you're a freshman or a senior, we'll play whoever wins the spot, right?
Yeah.
Once we step across the chalk, I don't remember what year you are. I just want you to get your job done, and how can we help you do that the best we can? But I do think that there is the occasional ask, but that's not something that we promise to anybody. It's, 20, 25 kids out here, and do your best to earn your spot that day and realize that the lineup does come from the coaching staff. And so you just have to do your best and trust that that's good.
And something that stands out about your program, and I'm sure it catches the eye of recruits, is the academic success that I've seen. You've had a lot of years with teams of GPAs of 3.5 and above. 10 scholar athletes, I believe, last season. And I think that's good for recruits to see that, yes, they can come here and play softball, but then they're also getting and having success off the field as well.
Well, and that's number one to us, right? Like, we're here to get an education. It's not like any of these ladies are going to go make $2 million playing in the MLB or a professional league at all. Honestly, the professional league that we have isn't a huge moneymaker, so it's great if they get to play, but it's not going to be what pays all their bills. So we have to make sure that we're here getting our studies in and making sure we graduate quality student athletes. I think we're 17 of 20 this year getting academic awards. So that's definitely a big push for us.
And then one more thing before we wrap up. Why should athletes want to play here in this program?
I mean, it's the best program around, that's for sure. We love softball. We probably hate to lose more than we love to win. And we're a family. We work together to get our job done and have a good time doing it.
Well, thanks, Coach, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Up next, we'll be joined by senior pitcher Delaney Garden when we return on Flyer Nation.
Big game, big win.
It is a new day for jobs and careers, and the skills needed to compete are rapidly changing. This is why more students are choosing Lewis University. Lewis prepares you for emerging opportunities in some of the most highly sought after fields. Higher education is the most crucial investment you can make in your future. Lewis provides you with a lasting education that will launch you towards success today and strong growing careers of tomorrow. Begin an education that will pay dividends for a lifetime. Learn more at lewisu.edu.
For over 50 years, WLRA has been on air showcasing countless students. As the first all-digital college radio station, Lewis University students are given access to industry-leading equipment. Equipment that commercial stations utilize, equipment that creates, and equipment that brings radio to life.
I like WLRA because it gives me the opportunity to get experience with news broadcasting and working with radio.
Stop by De La Salle 210 or at WLRA Radio to get started on your radio career. Welcome back to Flyer Nation. I'm now joined by senior pitcher Delaney Garden. Delaney, thanks for taking some time to talk.
Thanks for having me.
So you're wrapping up your senior season. I just want to know what your Lewis experience has been like.
My Lewis experience has been honestly really great, both academic and athletically. I'm really glad that I chose to come here to pursue athletics and academics. I think it's a great school for everything.
And how did you know that you wanted to play college softball here?
I knew I wanted to play in college forever, and when Coach Pearl recruited me, I think it was a really good option for me, a smaller school for academics, and then she really emphasizes the balance between academics and athletics, so I knew it was a good program to go to.
And were you wanting to stay close because you're from the area?
Yeah,
right?
I'm from about an hour away. I didn't really mind going far or staying close, but after being close to home, I'm glad that I stayed pretty close because my parents are able to come to all the games and all that.
You pitch, obviously. When did you find out that that was your position?
That's a hard
Did
question.
it just kind of
I feel
happen?
like everybody pitches when they're younger, and then
Yeah.
it's just whoever sticks with it. So, I mean, I was pitching in T-ball, but then I just stuck with it, and now I'm here. And that was a really big thing when I was being recruited, was I wanted the option to be able to hit too. And Coach Pearl, if their pitchers want it, she lets them do it. So that was
Okay.
also a big option because a lot of schools won't let their pitchers hit, and that was a big thing for me.
And that's what I was going to ask you, too, because you have the lowest ERA on the team, highest batting average. I mean, how do you balance working on your pitching but then also your offensive approach?
I think for me, it really helps me. It balances me out because I can provide to the team in two different ways. So if I'm not doing great on one side one game, but I'm providing on the other side, it makes me sane. And then I also don't really look at stats that much, just because I don't know. It helps me not.
Right.
It helps not
Try
to
not to
focus
think
on
about
that.
it.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm assuming not, like you said, a lot of teams that you play, the pitchers usually aren't hitting, like you said. Because I noticed also on the roster it has you as outfield. You're not playing much outfield though at all, are
I
you?
usually play outfield the second game, like
After you're done
when
pitching?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm usually in left.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, this is your senior season. Are you sticking around for a fifth year, or is this it for you?
I don't have a fifth year. I probably would if I
Okay.
had one, but I don't have one. The last class to get one was 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I am going to grad school, so I'll be around here. I'm going to grad school here, so I'll still be around, but not playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is your final ride then for you. What else, if you haven't accomplished it yet, do you want to accomplish? Individual-wise, team-wise, what is it?
I don't think I have any expectations. I just want us to do the best we can. We're a super young team, so I just want to do the best we can and show the younger girls, what Lewis softball is and how far we should go.
And what do you think the biggest strength is of this team right now?
Physically, I think our hitting is a lot stronger this year than it ever has been, especially with such a young team. And then mentally, I think the freshmen and the younger girls, the underclassmen, just not having many expectations helps. And I think they know the high standard that Lewis softball is, so that helps too.
And you mentioned you always wanted to play college softball. What advice would you give to high schoolers that want to do the same thing?
Work hard and don't worry about recruiting. Recruiting is a terrible experience. I probably shouldn't say that, but it's very stressful and it can turn a lot of people away from the sport, but just, don't worry about it and work hard.
Well, it's just a lot that you have to worry about instead of just
Playing the sport.
right,
Yeah.
and working on your game. It's a whole nother thing. I asked Coach Pearl this too, but what do you think as a team that you guys have to improve or do or continue doing to win a conference tournament title?
I think something we talk about a lot, we've been talking about a lot because we've been struggling with it a little, is playing at our level every game and not playing down to teams or not looking at teams like they're too big. So I just think not worrying about who we're playing and just playing the best that we know we can is really important.
Thank you again for joining us today, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That'll wrap things up for this episode of Flyer Nation. You can catch past and future episodes of Flyer Nation right here on the Lewis University Television Network YouTube channel.